In the turbulent pages of South African history, one name stands out as a symbol of unwavering courage, determination, and resilience. Winnie Mandela, the wife of Nelson Mandela, left an indelible mark on the struggle for independence, the fight against apartheid, and the reshaping of an entire continent. Born in 1936 in the Eastern Cape, Nomzamo Winifred Zanyu Madikizela, known as Winnie, was destined for greatness. As a young social worker, she met a young lawyer, Nelson Mandela, and their union would set the stage for an extraordinary partnership. Winnie Mandela and Nelson Mandela's relationship is a love story that transcended time and adversity, marked by deep affection, shared ideals, and the sacrifices they made for the cause of South African independence. This extraordinary union, however, was not without its complexities, including the long periods of separation, political turmoil, and personal sacrifices. So Winnie and Nelson's paths first crossed in 1957 when they met in the vibrant township of Soweto. Winnie was a young social worker, and Nelson, a charismatic lawyer. They were drawn together by their shared commitment to justice and their desire to see an end to apartheid, which was systematically oppressing South Africa's majority black population. Their relationship grew rapidly, and they were married in 1958. The couple's connection was rooted in their shared values, which encompassed not only their deep love for each other, but also their profound dedication to the struggle for freedom and equality. From the outset, it was evident that they were willing to stand side by side in their quest for justice. As the apartheid regime intensified its crackdown on political dissent, Nelson became a prominent figure in the African National Congress, ANC, the anti-apartheid organization. In 1961, he founded Umkhonto we Sizwe, the armed wing of the ANC, which embarked on a campaign of sabotage against government infrastructure. This decision led to a protracted period of separation for Winnie and Nelson. In 1962, Nelson was arrested and subsequently sentenced to life imprisonment, which he served on Robben Island. Winnie, now a mother of two young daughters, Zenani and Zinzi, found herself thrust into a position of great responsibility. She became the voice of the anti-apartheid movement, not only advocating for her husband's release, but also speaking out against the brutalities of the apartheid regime. Winnie Mandela stood as a prominent political activist during her husband's imprisonment. She endured arrests, solitary confinement, and constant surveillance by the government. Her home in Soweto became a focal point for anti-apartheid activities, with both local and international activists gathering there to show their support for the struggle. Winnie's fearless advocacy earned her the moniker Mother of the Nation. Despite the tremendous personal risks and the relentless persecution she faced, Winnie continued to be a vocal and charismatic figure in the anti-apartheid movement. She inspired hope and determination among those who yearned for freedom, serving as a symbol of resilience in the face of oppression. The separation between Winnie and Nelson was profound. While Nelson languished in prison, Winnie carried the burden of the struggle outside. She was instrumental in keeping the flame of resistance alive, ensuring that the world never forgot the injustices being committed in South Africa. The letters they exchanged during this period are a testament to their enduring love and commitment, even as they were separated by prison walls. Winnie's own letters reveal the depth of her love for Nelson and the pain of their separation. In one letter, she wrote, "My love, your pain, your anger, and your grief overwhelm me every day. I will not tire until I can find some way to express and release the countless pent-up emotions that imprison me." While their love and shared commitment to justice were unwavering, Winnie and Nelson's relationship faced its share of challenges. The years of separation and political turmoil strained their marriage. Winnie's activism, her confrontations with the apartheid regime, and the controversies that surrounded her sometimes caused tension within the anti-apartheid movement. Winnie's association with the radicalism of the time, including her connection to the militant wing of the ANC and allegations of human rights abuses by her security detail, brought her under intense scrutiny. These controversies, coupled with the apartheid regime's propaganda efforts to discredit her, created strains on their relationship. Nelson Mandela was released from prison in 1990, a moment that marked not only a turning point in South Africa's history, but also a reunion with his beloved wife, Winnie. Their embrace on the day of his release was a poignant and widely celebrated moment. However, the years of separation had taken their toll on the marriage. The couple's relationship faced further challenges as Nelson Mandela assumed a central role in negotiations for the end of apartheid. The immense pressures and responsibilities of his position as a unifying figure placed strains on his personal life, including his marriage to Winnie. During the darkest days of apartheid, Winnie didn't stop supporting her husband. She advocated for the oppressed. She worked tirelessly to support the families of political prisoners and promote the cause of the African National Congress, ANC. When apartheid finally crumbled, Winnie's impact didn't stop. She served as a member of parliament and played a crucial role in reconciling a divided nation. Her commitment to justice and the rights of the marginalized continued to shape South Africa's future. Her post-apartheid contributions were deeply rooted in her unwavering commitment to justice, equality, and the rights of the marginalized, and her role in reconciling a divided nation was pivotal in South Africa's transformation. Winnie's election as a member of parliament in 1994 marked a significant transition from her role as a prominent anti-apartheid activist to a formal political leader. As a member of the ANC, she joined the South African parliament during a critical period in the nation's history. Her presence in the political arena represented a continuation of her commitment to the struggle for social justice and the empowerment of marginalized communities. As a member of parliament, Winnie had the opportunity to directly influence legislation and policies. She focused on advocating for issues close to her heart, including housing, healthcare, education, and the rights of South Africa's disadvantaged populations. Her political career served as a platform to address the systemic inequalities and injustices that had plagued the country for decades. Winnie Mandela recognized that reconciliation was an essential component of South Africa's post-apartheid transition. The wounds inflicted by apartheid were deep and pervasive, and reconciliation was crucial to healing a divided nation. She actively engaged in reconciliation efforts, working to mend the rifts that had separated communities and fostered unity among South Africans. One of her most notable reconciliation initiatives was her involvement in the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, TRC, which was established to address the crimes and human rights violations committed during the apartheid era. While the TRC process was painful and challenging, Winnie's participation was a demonstration of her commitment to a just and reconciled South Africa. Winnie's post-apartheid years were marked by a passionate advocacy for the rights of the marginalized. She remained dedicated to the cause of social justice, particularly for those who had long been oppressed. Her continued activism and advocacy for housing, healthcare, and education were integral to addressing the systemic inequalities that continued to persist. Winnie's commitment to the rights of the marginalized was more than just a political stance. It was deeply rooted in her personal experiences and her understanding of the enduring impact of apartheid on communities across South Africa. She remained a powerful voice for those who had long been voiceless. Winnie Mandela's legacy is a testament to her unwavering commitment to justice and equality. Her indomitable spirit continues to inspire people, not only in South Africa, but across the African continent and the world. She left a profound impact through her involvement in various organizations, both in South Africa and on the broader African stage. She played a crucial role in mobilizing communities and advocating for the rights of Black South Africans. Winnie established the Mandela United Football Club, a sports organization, during the late 1980s. While the club primarily focused on providing sporting opportunities for young people in Soweto, it was also involved in political activities. It became controversial due to allegations of violence and human rights abuses by some of its members. Winnie Mandela's international recognition was a reflection of her global impact. She received numerous awards and honors for her contributions to the fight against apartheid and her commitment to justice. These included the Order of Merit, the Order of the Star of South Africa, and the Order of the African Star. Winnie was a prominent advocate for HIV/AIDS awareness and prevention. She recognized the devastating impact of the HIV/AIDS epidemic on South Africa and worked to raise awareness about the virus, its transmission, and the importance of testing and treatment. Her efforts were crucial in reducing the stigma associated with HIV/AIDS. She worked to raise awareness about human rights abuses and to provide support for those who had been victims of injustice. Winnie Mandela passed away on April 2, 2018. She died at the age of 81. The cause of her death was officially stated as an illness related to her previous health challenges. She had been in and out of the hospital in the years leading up to her death. While she had faced various health issues, the specific details of her illness were not publicly disclosed. Her death marked the end of an era in South African history, and she was mourned by many for her contributions to the anti-apartheid struggle and her enduring legacy of activism and resilience.